Hello and welcome to Fresh Perspectives. My name is Gail, and my guests today are Patty Benton and her friend Sarge. And they are here today to represent the Northern Chautauqua Canine Rescue. Thank you for, both of you, for appearing on Fresh Perspectives today.
It's a pleasure to be here, as usual.
Well, would you like to tell the viewing audience something about Sarge?
Okay, so Sarge is, obviously he's kind of a large guy, and this is what he likes to do, lay around and chew on a nylabone. He does like to go for walks. He is potty trained. I mean, he's house trained. He was an owner turnover. I don't really know what the situation was. They just weren't able to care for him any longer. I think he's, a few years old at least. But it would say on our website, but it might only be a guess. And he gets along with some dogs, but not all dogs. He's had a few dust-ups, just through the fence. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
You didn't have to take anybody to the vet to get treated for.
And I think he was
injuries.
at the yard sale. He was laying around under the cashier table for
he was
like a couple hours, and people brought dogs by, and as long as the dogs weren't like in his face, trying to rile him up. So I think dogs that are other dogs that are calm, I think he would get along with. But we always do like a meet and greet if you want to adopt a dog and you have another dog.
And you said you think he's lived with cats.
I think he did live in a house. I think he was used to cats. But one of the programs we have now, and I don't know if we had it last time I was here, if we talked about it, we call it a sleepover. So you can take, if you're interested in a dog and you want to take it home, a trial. So you have like a 2-week trial basis, and you can take them home and you can bring them back anytime within the 2 weeks. And after the 2 weeks, you either decide, we're going to adopt this dog or we're going to bring him back to the shelter. So you don't have to sign the papers and pay the money or whatever until the trial
the 2 weeks
period.
are over.
And some people will take them, and 3 days later they're like, "This is perfect. We're going to do the adoption."
Oh, they could sometimes do it before the 2 weeks.
Yeah. You don't have to wait the 2 weeks. And other people, they bring them back like the next day. It's like because it's like with cats, Oh, he's watching.
I think
he's watching
television.
TV. Hi.
He's watching the monitor.
He is watching. What is that?
Is that us? Is that?
See, there's you. Don't get mad at that dog.
Clones of us. Yeah, one other dog that you brought on was growling, I remember, at the monitor when he saw his own
dog
himself.
There, you just take your little toy and chew on it. That would be a good way to test, maybe the dog likes cats, but maybe your cat doesn't like to have a dog around. Like sometimes that happens, that people are like, oh, it'll be fine, and then the cat hides. And you don't want your cat to be miserable.
Right,
so
exactly.
It doesn't always work out, but with the sleepover program, you've got a couple of weeks to decide whether it's going to work or not.
Right. And sometimes they can warm up to each other, the cats and dogs. Within a week or so, so you don't know. Okay, now my next question that I had was about how the yard sale turned out. And first I want to show the viewing audience what I bought at
That's wonderful.
at the yard sale. I'm toying with the idea of maybe using it for my tablecloth.
Oh, wow.
Here, I haven't decided for sure, but it's very, very colorful.
What does it say in the corner? It's got writing.
There is something that it says. It says Longboat Key.
Oh, okay.
Longboat
That's
Key.
down in Florida, I think.
Oh, okay. So, and it is, let's see, 80% cotton and only 20% polyester.
Wow.
But it feels like 100% cotton. And it's just gorgeous.
It's your style for sure.
I know. It's just absolutely
And
gorgeous.
you got that at a bargain price. No
Oh,
doubt.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
The yard
At
sale.
first, I thought I was buying like a beach towel to lay on, but it's pretty big.
You
I
could
mean,
take that, so that could be your beach blanket.
maybe a beach blanket to lay on.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
Well, that's quite lovely.
but anyway,
yeah, it's real pretty.
I couldn't resist it. So, but I thought as long as we were going to talk about the yard sale, that I might as well show it. I'll leave it somewhat
There you go.
unfolded for the rest of the show. Okay, so other than me,
Yeah, the yard sale.
how did it go?
The yard sale was a huge success this year. But you know, each year it gets bigger and better. And every year we look at like what worked, what didn't work, what do we want to change for next year. We are going to change a few things for next year, but it's more in like the setup, you know, for that'll be easier for the volunteers to get the thing ready because it's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a really big success. At the end, we did have quite a bit of stuff left over, but the donations, just people were bringing stuff by the truckload and trailer load. And, you know, in the old days, they'd bring a little box of something. Now they're unloading like a van and coming back with a second load. And but that's great because, you know, they're very generous. At the end, Rural Ministry takes some of the leftover stuff. And then we did donate some things to the Thrifty Kitty that, you know, we let them come and pick some things that they can use. And we did take some donations down to the Salvation Army. And, you know, they don't take just everything, but, you know, when we said, well, do you want this or this, you know, and they would take some things. And then the other thing that we did, one of the volunteers suggested this, and I thought, well, that's a great idea, because we get a lot of donations of like Christmas decorations, wreaths and lights and little whatever, you know, statues and, you know, ornaments, a lot of Christmas stuff, candles. So we had, and we sell a lot of that stuff, but we had a lot left over. And one of the volunteers said, well, you know, why don't we have a pop-up sale before Christmas?
Oh, okay.
So we're going to do that. So that's going to be our next fundraiser. Last year,
do you not want donations for
we
that?
do not want donations.
Okay, I
do
thought
not.
I'd better
Yeah,
make that
we
clear
do-
before
right.
people start showing up at the
No,
shelter.
well, what we did was we took all the things that we did have left over, and we have that learning center building, and we do take dogs over there to play with them in the bad weather. So we put up like a pen inside of there and put all the Christmas stuff in totes. So it's all, you know, tucked away from the dogs. And we're going to do this the weekend that Westfield has the Christmas in the Village. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
always the Saturday and Sunday before Thanksgiving. I know Thanksgiving's on the 28th.
Okay.
So it's the
It's
Saturday.
a Saturday and
It's a Saturday and
Sunday.
Sunday before the weekend before Thanksgiving. And I know Thanksgiving is on the 28th. I can't remember the dates of this. I'd have to use my math and go backwards. But so we're going to have that at the shelter
Okay.
in the Learning Center building. And we're also going to have an open house too.
Oh, okay. Is that going to be a different date?
No, that's the same.
The same
So
week?
those 2 days of the Christmas sale, people will also be having open house at the shelter. So if they
Okay.
want to go in, usually our hours are 1 to 3, but this will be from like 10 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday. And you know, if they want to go in and see the shelter and see the dogs, or just come to the sale. So the sale, it's just gonna be Christmas items.
Only Christmas.
Only Christmas items.
Christmas items.
And we're going to have like free, you know, Christmas cookies and hot cocoa and coffee. We'll have a little thing set up in there for snacks. There won't be any dogs in the room that day. We have an electric fireplace that didn't sell at the yard sale.
Oh.
So that's going to be the feature, you know. So
Okay.
imagine, if you will, the room with the fireplace, and we can decorate the fireplace with some of the stuff we have, but the fireplace will be for sale as well, but you just can't have it till after the sale. And it does work, and it's electric. It's real pretty. It's got a wooden frame, and I don't know how much the price is. So, but it'll be a bargain. And so anyway, we're going to do that in December, and that's going to be our next fundraiser. Last year we did a basket raffle uptown at Easton Hall during that Christmas in the Village, but we're not going to do that this year.
Oh, okay. You're not going to do.
We're not going to do.
Not going to
yeah.
do the Easton Hall thing.
Easton Hall. We're going to just do everything at the shelter, so people can come down, see the dogs if they want, and check out our.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do one basket of like one raffle basket, just one thing of local, like maple syrup, honey. Maybe some local gift cards and stuff like that.
Okay.
Coffee maybe or something. So there will be one little raffle thing. Well, it'll be a big thing, but only one. Buy one ticket and maybe you'll win. So
yeah,
one little
when I went to the summer yard sale, there was a lot of baskets for the raffle.
That does really well. I think we made almost $3,000 just on the basket raffle. So the basket raffle's good. We had another basket raffle recently at the Farm Festival.
Oh, did you?
We did that. That wasn't as, the Farm Festival this year wasn't as well attended as previous years.
Oh, I see.
But there was, Fredonia, they said, they weren't going to have it anymore. And then
they're not going to have the Fredonia Farm Festival.
They weren't.
gonna
That's
have
what they
it.
initially said. They weren't going to
okay.
have it. Well, then some other people, the new mayor or whatever, got involved and said, no, we are having it. So I think a lot of people didn't get the message that, yes, we are having it. So people didn't know it was still happening, but it was happening, and it will be happening next year as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
But we still did okay, and it's good to get out in the, community, let people know that that we're around.
And do you have
Westfield.
some of the dogs when you go to
We usually don't, because it's just too busy, and a lot of the people that are wander through with their dogs, and it's just too much to try to.
Okay.
The booths are like, it's like the arts and crafts uptown. They're right next to each other. It's very crowded, so no dog at that event.
Well, I do have to say, I went on the morning of the first of the 3 days, which was probably why I got lucky
Of our sale, yeah.
Yeah, lucky enough to find this. So otherwise, it probably wouldn't have been there if I'd come later in the weekend. But anyways, I have to say, it was an amazingly huge amount of things that people donated.
We have everything. I look at the stuff that comes in there, and I think I should never buy anything. If you need something, just wait, because it's going to be at our yard sale, and you're going to get it for less than $5. Whatever it is. Some things are $1. There were a lot of things that were $1. We have the little stickers that, so when we're staging and pricing and everything, we run out of dollar stickers because a lot of stuff sells for $1. I said everything should be $1 and we'd still make a lot of money, but some things,
you'd maybe unload more of it.
Most things are less. We have $10 stickers, but there's hardly ever anything that's $10. And we have like appliances, and I think.
Well, what about the furniture?
The furniture is usually more. We'll put like little tags on that. But even the furniture, I think we had a couch that was and it was like a really nice couch, and maybe it went for $100. One big thing we did have, and somebody wanted it, and they said, and we weren't sure how it was a Schwinn, like a Peloton exercise bike, but it was a Schwinn, I think.
Oh, okay.
And somebody came along, and there's like, and we didn't have a price on it yet, and they're like, well, what do you want for, what do you, and we're just like, I don't know, like $500, and they go, well, here's $1,200. They gave us $1,200. They just here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Thank you very much.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, but there's people that do that too. We have the donation jars out there, and a lot of people, are just like, keep the change, or give us an extra donation, and so it was a big success. And,
okay. I do have to say, it was a huge amount of stuff. The most I've ever seen at it. And I ran into somebody I knew there, and she was hoping to find a crib for a grandchild, I guess.
We didn't have we had, I don't know, like
There was
six. We had at least 6 pack and plays, which can be portable cribs.
There was a child's bed for not a baby, but a little older size.
Right.
Type thing. It looked like, if I'm remembering correctly, and I don't know if I am, it looked to me like it was made out of some sort of heavy-duty plastic.
Yeah, I think there was one there.
Was it blue?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, it was blue.
And somebody bought that. I think actually the person that donated it used it for their dog.
Oh, no.
But it is a child's bed. But then the dog didn't like it or whatever. They got it for the dog, and then the dog didn't want to use it, so they donated it.
You could put a little futon on it or something, you know. It would have worked.
Well, a couple years ago, I bought a plastic bed there because my grandson was 3, and he still uses it when he comes to visit. It was what is it, the movie Cars. So there's a character in the Cars movie, and I won't remember, something lightning, I don't know. Anyway, when he saw this bed, yeah, there you go, Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen.
So here's this, and the bed looks like a race car. And it came with the quilt and the sheets and everything, and I showed it to him on a Zoom, and he just went nuts. He had to have it, like, buy that, Grandma, whatever. So I did. So it's we keep it at my house, so when he comes to spend the night, he's got his little Lightning McQueen bed.
He really wanted it.
You know, he's 5 now. He's going to outgrow that. So
yeah.
It'll be back at the yard sale in a couple more years if anybody is looking for that kind of thing, or for your dog, I guess.
Yeah, if you had a dog that was,
Right.
I think it was way big as far as a lot of dogs, I guess.
Yeah.
But
a toddler, I remember it being there, toddler bed. Somebody bought it. I didn't see who, because it's so busy the day of, or Friday morning especially, is just people are lined up across the railroad tracks.
Yeah, I was looking to say hi to you, and I couldn't find you. And then I asked somebody, and they thought you'd gone to get pizza.
Yeah, that's probably where I was.
That's to bring back for the rest of the crew to eat?
Well, yeah, we did. Okay, so we always bought pizza for the crew to eat. And then, there's always the customers are looking around, and they see people eating pizza, they smell the pizza, and where's the pizza? So this year, I decided, I'm just gonna buy more pizza, and then we'll sell it by the slice to the customers. And so basically what we sold paid for what the volunteers ate. So it was instead of spending money for the volunteers, and then we sold pop too, and in the morning we had donuts and coffee early on. So that was a thing we added. We tried food trucks, and it just, it's hard to get anybody there, and then they take up a lot of space.
Right.
I had my little pizza section. I was like one table, and over by the tent full of plastic Tupperware stuff that we had.
Well, remember last year I was telling you that you said you didn't think you could get anything vegan to eat at the Arts and Crafts show.
Right.
And I told you, well, actually there's somebody that comes there that sells fudge, and they have one vegan flavor. They weren't there this year. It was like there were just certain vendors that I look just a certain few vendors that have the kind of things that I look for, and a bunch of them were not there.
I did ask. There's a young lady that's she's related to the Portage Pie people. Her name is Sandy, and it's like Stuffed by Sandy, and she makes all vegan baked goods. And she's at the Arts and Crafts, not the Arts and Crafts. She wasn't at the Arts and Crafts because you have to pay more money for your booth that weekend. So a lot of those vendors don't come to the Arts and Crafts because they sell all the other spots for more money. But she's at the farmer's market every weekend, and I usually stop by and get she makes great big cinnamon rolls and brownies. and the brownies have fava beans in them.
Oh my gosh.
And they're
Yum.
really good. And, I'm doing an advertisement for her now, but it's Stuffed by Sandy. Anyway.
Stuffed by Sandy is
Stuffed
what
by
it-
Sandy. So I stopped there to get some stuff, and I thought, well, if we're going to have things at the sell like donuts, I would rather have something that's a little more healthy than donuts. And so I asked her, I said, are you doing anything that weekend, or are you looking forward to a weekend off? Because when you're part of the farmers market, they really want you to be there every week. You can do it just once in a while if you want, but if you want to have your same spot every week, then they want you there every week, and you got to stay the whole time. So she said, well, she was really looking forward to a day off. So I said, well, all right, because I thought if she wanted to and she wasn't going to be at the arts and crafts thing and she wanted to sell some stuff, she could come down to the rescue. Which,
yeah.
That for me, that makes sense to sell vegan things when you're at an animal rescue, because
Yeah.
I don't like the
Yeah.
idea, and it happens, but using one animal product to save other animals,
Right, right. Well, that's those of us that are vegan. We don't think of the animals that are considered food animals. You and I don't think
Right.
of them as food.
Right.
And we don't think of them as being different
Yeah, right.
from the dogs, and
Right.
are less valuable
Yeah.
than the dogs and cats. We think that they should have more rights. So we're really getting off the
Yeah, I know,
topic
we're off
here.
topic. Okay, let's
But
stick
we should.
stick with
I
it.
should have you come sometime. We can just do a whole episode on the vegan
Well,
topic.
we could do that, sure.
Okay, good,
All right.
good. Okay, on to the next question. We already talked about the holiday event. This is a thing that I've never thought to ask when having you on to represent the shelter or any shelter, is do the dogs get really scared? Do you have problems that way with them during thunder and lightning storms? Have you ever had?
No.
No?
They,
Because I've known various dogs who just will go hide underneath a bed or underneath a kitchen table or something.
what's really funny, and I don't know why they, because I think I brought her here one time. Her name was Heaven. She was a big gray pit bull.
Right.
And she got adopted. And when she was at the shelter, we have storms, and I never noticed any anxiety from her over the storms. But then when she got to the farm where she lives now, and when I say farm, I mean this place is the fanciest farm I've ever seen. It's
So you got to
amazing.
go there then?
Yeah, I took her there because they had so many animals. There's no way they could do a meet and greet. They had chickens and geese and peacocks, and they did horse rescue, and they had dogs and cats. So I just took her there to see how she would be, and she fit right in. And she's still, she's been there for, I think, I don't know, 3-4 years.
It's been, I think,
Yeah.
a few years, yeah.
But they said to me, they texted me and said, she's really afraid during thunderstorms. And I thought, well, that's interesting. But, they live way out in the country. Like, I can't believe my GPS even found this place. So, when you're out in the country, the storms are they're more, I don't know, you see more of it because you're not surrounded by buildings and trees and, maybe some trees, but, you're more out in the open. So maybe the storms, and they had this beautiful cabin that they live in, and, maybe the storms are just a little more noticeable. But, she didn't ever seem to have any anxiety. We have a couple there that are, like, if it's raining, they don't want to go outside, and if you take them out, like this morning, it was raining. I'm there this morning,
Right.
and, we had to put them out. But we try to put them out in places where there's cover, like right out the back door, there's a porch. So they can go out and do their business and come back and wait by the door under cover. And so when it's a rainy day, we just one out the back door, one out the front door, and we just clean their kennel and bring them back in. But there's one guy there now, Benton. He does not like to go out and get wet, and he's the only one, but he's afraid of a lot of things. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, but I haven't. But I one of my dogs at home, if there's even the hint, she can hear thunder from I don't know how many miles away, and she starts to shiver, and she'll go hide in the bathroom. So
I know that you want to keep your dogs confined, like during the 4th of July fireworks.
Yeah.
And things, if you're close enough to
Yeah.
where it would be loud. So,
and we're right near the tracks, so maybe that desensitizes them from.
because the noise from the trains
Yeah,
going
the trains.
by?
I mean, I don't know how many trains go by a day or night, and they're loud. So maybe the dogs at the shelter are so used to train noise that they don't get freaked out by thunder. I don't know, but I've never noticed any of them being that way. So.
Well, okay, it just
good.
occurred to me when I was making up questions for you that I had never thought to ask about that, but I guess probably we could move along now to the pictures of the dogs that are at the shelter these days.
Sure. Let's see what I know. Okay, I know that one. Ladybug and her puppies, they're so cute. Okay, Ladybug's like a Dachshund, maybe Jack Russell mix, and those are her babies. She's at Marcia's doing, she's at they're in foster care.
Okay.
So we do have quite a few foster dogs, people that'll just take them in until they're adopted. So these guys, I don't know, they're maybe 6 weeks old, 5, 6 weeks old. They'll be available. They're super cute. They're going to be small. So get your applications in if you want one of these guys.
The one down in the lower right, the one with those funny ears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of a television program from way back when I was very, very young called, it was where Sally Field played the part of a nun that could fly. And
I remember that.
The thing she wore on her head was kind of
right.
kind of looked like that.
And of course, the mom will be available. That's when they were tiny little babies.
This is the mom here?
Yeah, that's the mom. And she's not very big. That's
her.
She's got. That's where the little one took after her.
Yeah, she's got those funny ears.
And then the next puppies, we have another mom and puppies.
Oh, okay.
This is, there's like 3 of them eating. I took these pictures. It's hard to get pictures of puppies. They don't cooperate.
Yeah.
But that's one of them. And like 3 of them have that's the mom. And aren't they cute?
Look at that
cute.
face.
They're about 6 weeks old, so they're starting to be weaned. They're at the shelter. And I don't think we have a lot of applications yet for those guys either. Maybe a couple are interested. But they're super cute. And she's a medium size or maybe,
You don't have any ideas about breed or anything?
Well, we had the mom pictured. I don't know what she is.
She looks different from the puppies,
Yeah,
doesn't
the puppies are fluffy, most of them, except the one on the floor in the one picture. Yeah, so the mom. But who knows what the dad was, We have no idea.
Yeah, the puppies are all black, it looks like, and she's brown.
They're black and white, and some of them have a little bit of tan on their feet or a little bit of brindle mixed in. And so they're really cute. And they're getting really, I like if you go in there to clean, we wear scrubs and boot covers, and they're just ripping the boot covers off your feet while you're in there.
Oh, no.
They're so fun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Ruby, she came in, owner turnover, couldn't care for her. I don't know whether it was just like an older person, probably.
Probably.
Because this dog was well cared for, but overfed, too many treats. So she's in foster care, and she's on a weight loss program now. She's an older girl, really nice dog, really sweet.
And the name is Ruby.
Her name's Ruby, yeah. And she's not reactive to other dogs or anything. So if you had another dog, she's just a real sweetheart. She's in a foster home now with, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 other dogs.
There seem to be 2 dogs.
Yeah, that's her at her foster home. Laying out in the yard with, you know.
So the other dog is not on your adoption list
No,
then?
no. Yeah, so that's Ruby. She's a nice girl. So if you want an older, slower dog and she's housebroken, you know. A lot of people, they just want, you know, you want a dog, but you don't want to go through that puppy nonsense of they chew, they poop and pee all over the place.
Yeah, with their chewing, they damage.
Yeah,
they do a
yeah.
lot of damage to your
furniture,
belongings and
rugs, whatever, clothing, shoes, toys. So, Sprocket. Sprocket is so cute. Very, very timid. He. I can never remember. I think Sprocket's a boy. He's in a foster home right now, and the lady said, yes, he's very shy and timid. I don't know what, and he's like 2 years old, so I don't know what people did to him to make him so afraid of people. Somebody wasn't nice to this little guy, and he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He's real small. Look at that. That's Randy, one of our volunteers. He does this thing every week, Wednesday Fun with Dogs. And he'll put it on Facebook, and there will be a whole bunch of pictures. And he writes this great big, long, tear-jerking story.
Oh, my God.
Makes me cry every week.
Yeah, she has a really cute face.
Yeah. I think it's a he, though. He.
A he.
Yeah.
Oh, now I went and said she.
I know.
He looks bigger in that one picture.
He's not. He's just maybe 20 pounds and full grown. So if you don't want a big dog, you want a shy dog. Now, Missy, she's a bigger dog. She's really nice. I walked her this morning, and she walks well on a leash. She's very friendly. She's not, you know, wild and crazy, but she is very playful. She's pretty young, I think. And probably like a chocolate lab mix of something, maybe shepherd. Yeah, she's only been there a couple weeks.
Years ago, we had a cat named Missy.
Oh.
Apricot.
Okay, Apricot. You don't need a fenced yard for Apricot because she will climb over a fence. But she loves to play ball. She's got a lot of pep. She's really friendly and sweet. She likes other dogs. I don't know about cats. She might be too much for a cat because she's a young dog and very playful. But she's a sweetheart. She walks pretty well on a leash too for, you know, someone with her energy level. But I was there last weekend, and we were doing some laundry and doing some chores, and she was out in a pen, and one of the volunteers just happened to, fortunately, be looking out the window in time to see her scale the pen. And we have 6-foot-high fence chain link.
Oh, she can go over a 6-foot-high fence.
Some of them will use it like, you know, the little chain link fabric. They'll use it like a ladder. So she just went up and over. So now she has to be we do have covered pens. We have some covered pens, but they're smaller.
She has to be
She can run around in a big one, but you have to be out there with her. If a person's out there with her, she doesn't try to leave. But, you know, if she's just out there and other dogs are in another pen, she wants to go see them, whatever.
So she didn't get too far away?
No, she didn't get far away. We saw her leave, and we ran out and snagged her, made her come back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Her escape was short-lived.
That isn't her, is it?
I don't know who that is. What? Who is that?
Patty doesn't know who you are.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's do we have a picture where it's like got a name?
Oh, there's the
Miles. Oh, Miles courtesy listing. Okay, so this is a dog that's in somebody's home that they're looking to rehome, or it might be a foster from another shelter, you know, because we'll do that too.
Okay.
So courtesy listing. So yeah, he's not at our shelter, but if you're interested,
you're just listing.
Yeah, we'll list like that cat. You know, the cat that's also listed.
Okay.
So a courtesy listing is they're not at our shelter, but we will list them like that, and then you can contact us, and we'll get you the information if you're interested.
Franny.
Franny's in foster care too, so I've never met Franny. Little poodle, adorable.
One of the smaller varieties?
Yeah, I think she's tiny. I think, yeah, look at that. What a cutie. It's hard to tell with some of the pictures that they're not very big, but she's not very big. Oh, she's got a lot of pictures.
Yeah, she sure does.
Well,
A model.
I
She's
guess.
a model.
okay. And there's a Puff
Pink.
the cat. Okay, another courtesy listing.
Oh, Puff the cat.
Yeah.
Puff the cat is very slightly long-haired.
Yeah, it looks like. So if anybody wants a cat, contact the shelter. We'll put you in touch with the volunteer that's, I think it was a volunteer or it's someone that the volunteer knows wants to rehome this cat, or, you know, because, I mean, cats, it's sad. People just will dump them. They just dump
I know.
them. It's
I
terrible.
know.
And,
I know.
you know, and if you're a kind person, you take in a cat, but maybe you already have, and that's usually the case. Somebody already has 5 cats, you know, now, and people, maybe they know that, so it's like, oh, I'll dump it here, and
Yeah,
you know, they'll take it in.
I think that you might get a reputation
Yeah.
for being somebody who will be kind
Yes.
and take care of a stray animal if it shows up. Yeah.
So anyway, hey, you're waking up. Just moving over.
Okay, is this
This
Cookie?
is Cookie.
Cookie.
Cookie's little and lots of pep, so she needs to have active, you know, an active home.
You know, it almost looks, I don't, maybe it's just from the angle the pictures were taken, but it looks like her head is way bigger than her body.
Nah, she's well proportioned. She's a real sweetheart. She's kind of.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right?
She's kind of barky in the shelter, but you know what happens is, you know, I mean, they're all in there and they bark every time somebody moves. Everybody starts barking, and it's stressful for them. And you know, some of them, it's like I will say, like almost all of them, you get them out of the shelter and into a home, and it's a totally different.
They seem more calm.
They just
yeah.
really calm down
Well,
and
you know,
settle in.
I think one dog gets to barking,
Yeah.
and it sets the others off.
Exactly.
Is this Cookie here still?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like she had a little
that's a better,
adventure.
That's a better picture of
Yeah.
her there. That
Yeah, she's a cutie.
shows that her body is well proportioned compared to her head.
She likes walks. She likes her treats. She eats well. She's seems to be housebroken. So I
Oh,
clean her.
okay.
You know, I'm there off. You know, 3 mornings a week or so, and I clean a lot of kennels. You know, when you first go in, and they've been in since like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And I've never seen a mess in her kennel.
Oh,
so, I mean,
okay.
they can really hold. So the ones that are going to hold it really can hold it. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
is house trained already.
Okay. And Pancake.
Pancake and Annie. I think one of them was adopted or went to a sleepover, and I think it was Pancake and Croissant. But did they calling her? Oh no. Okay, Pancake Annie.
Pancake
Okay, her
Annie.
name was. The two came in together. It was Pancake and Croissant, and it must be Croissant got adopted, and they're calling Pancake Annie.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm pretty sure she's in the same foster home with Ruby.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the two of them were together. They came in together. Hey, where are you going, big guy? Come on over here. Come on over here. Look, I have treats.
And he is a big guy.
You're a big guy. If you want a big guy that's just going to, here, you want a treat? I'll give you one. Oh, it's on the floor now. Look, right here. Look, right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. There you go. Okay.
Pancake Annie. Okay.
Sadie.
Sadie.
She's a big, tall, thin, probably black lab mix. She's very friendly. She likes other dogs. Most other dogs. I mean, you have to do a meet and greet. Don't know about cats. She walks really nice on a leash. So I don't know if she's had some training. I would say housebroken, not all the way yet, but you know, like I said, they're in overnight. So.
Right, right.
And what happens a lot is, you know, they're in there all night, and then the volunteers come in, and we have to take them all out, you know, on a leash to put them in a yard. And then, you know, you come back in and somebody couldn't hold it any longer. They saw you, they got excited.
Yeah.
And
This is,
okay, so this is another foster home.
this is a really pretty
Yeah,
long-haired dog.
husky.
I'm in a foster
yeah.
home, yeah.
And I
It's-
think they're very shy. I think there's 2 of them.
You know, is this a male or a female?
I am not sure because
Oh,
I've
okay,
never
because
seen
I
these
almost
in person.
said she, but then I don't know. But
About, let's see, what is it? Can you go down a little further? Spade, no, it doesn't. Sahara? Sahara. That sounds like a girl name, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking she looks, like
And
a
Luca.
cross between a husky and maybe something else.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So both of these dogs are in a foster home.
This one named
together.
Luca also?
Yeah, they're together. So they're. I think they're pretty timid. So you know whether. I don't think they go for walks. You know. So sometimes it takes a while for them to come around to, you know, trust people again. So that's why it says soon, because who's ever got them is working on their ability to trust, or their, you know, to build up their trust in,
Oh, yeah.
in humans coming near them.
Oh,
And, you know,
yeah, they're very beautiful.
yeah, they are pretty. Who's next? Ah,
Is that the guy that's in the room
here he
with us
is.
right now?
Yeah. So I think he's
Sarge.
gotten a little bigger since he got to the shelter. Probably too many treats, but that's the trouble. You know, we have volunteers in and out all day, and you know, you take them for a walk and they give him a treat, and you know, if he's not real active, as far as like you put him out in the yard and he doesn't really run around a lot, but
Oh.
he's a nice boy, aren't you? Yes, you are.
And there he is with
Yep.
a stuffed animal?
Yeah, I'm thinking he would destroy a stuffed animal. That must have been
Probably.
that must have been one of the initial pictures before we knew what he was capable of. Because he really likes the Nyla bones. He'll chew on one of these for. This is what he does. So, but he does like to go for walks.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I said the word. I don't know if he knows the word. Okay, Gunner is a courtesy listing, so I really don't know Gunner. He'd have to look at the website and read all about him. He looks like a cute little guy.
Unusual looking. I'm not sure I would make a guess, would you? You know,
You know, Rottweiler maybe.
um,
I see. Face looks
well-
like a little Rottweiler, or
yeah, except maybe not 100%.
yeah,
I'm
right.
thinking.
Oh no, not 100%. No.
Yeah.
We rarely have one that's 100%. Okay, Kavik and Macy. That's Kavik. They're beautiful, Kavik and Macy, but they are bonded pair. They were used for breeding. They're older, they're like 8 and 10 years old. So
You're hoping to get them adopted together?
yeah, and they did go to a home briefly, but the people had, I think it was their daughter came over often and brought her 2 huskies. And the 4 just didn't get along.
Oh,
It wasn't good.
I see.
And you know, since she brings them over a lot, I don't know, they watch them while she works or something like that. So that didn't work out. So we're kind of looking for, you know, somebody without dogs already, that wouldn't mind having a couple senior citizen dogs for a few years. I mean, they're still very active. They're very playful. They pull. They pull a lot when you're walking them.
Oh,
You know, and now we walk them in different directions. When we take them together, they really pull. Like they really should have a sled, you know.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe
I
maybe that's it.
So
What?
yeah, winter's coming.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if anybody wants to do some, you know, but not too much because they are old. Okay, so here's Rue.
Rue.
Rue is cattle dog, and she came in with 3 other cattle dogs. There were 4 of them altogether that all came from the same place.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like not really owner turnover, they couldn't take care of them. The people didn't even have a home. So they homeless people, homeless dogs. So the dogs ended up at the shelter, and 2 of them got adopted, but we still have Rue and it might be her daughter.
It looks like somebody's poured powdered sugar on
I
her
know.
head.
They're really cute. But they're cattle dogs, so they're like, probably not good with little kids because they do nip. And they do it to us but they're really fun. They're really fun. They look like creamsicles, the 2 of them. They're orange and white, and
this is
they're
Meg.
not real big. That was well. Oh yeah, there's Meg. So we think that Meg might be the daughter of Rue.
Oh, okay.
And so she went on an outing. Like, that's a thing too. Like, we'll get people. There's one of our volunteers with the 2 of them. Like, he gets to go on an outing today. The other day, a volunteer came and just took Apricot out for, the afternoon to go meet her kids and stuff. It's another program we're going to start up probably in the spring. Is just if people want to just come and they don't really want to be like a volunteer that's cleaning and, scheduled. But if they do a little bit of training with like how to safely handle and where to go and stuff like that, we're going to start a program where you can just come and get the dog for the afternoon and take it to the beach or
okay,
take it to your house for a while.
Not just a walk, whole
whole
afternoon
an outing or something like that. So but that's coming soon. A new opportunity for a volunteer.
Okay.
This is Gavin. He was at the shelter. He was a puppy adopted from us and then brought back after a year just because they didn't have time. And he's a super nice dog. He gets along with other dogs. I don't understand why he's not adopted yet. But
how long has he been there?
Oh gosh, almost a year, I'd say.
Oh.
And now he's in a foster home. One of the volunteers already has a couple. That's what happens when you volunteer. Now he's got like 2 dogs from us that he's adopted, and now he's got this one, and he took it home just to foster. So whether he's going to foster fail on Gavin, I don't know, but Gavin he's perfect. He's probably about 50 pounds. Very nice dog. Walks good on a leash. He's housebroken. I just can't understand why he hasn't been adopted. None of us understand.
We actually have a Gavin that comes on Fresh Perspectives once in a while, except that he's human.
Oh,
he's a musician.
Oh, okay. Well, we have to name him something.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Benton. Now he's the one that would be afraid of. He would probably be afraid of the weather outside. Inside the kennel, it doesn't seem to bother him, but he does not like to go out when it's rainy. He came from a terrible situation in Ohio where the guy got arrested, and I don't know what the outcome of that was, but there were dead animals on his property.
Was that the reason he was arrested?
Yeah.
Okay.
For animal cruelty, and he had a bunch of dogs, and we ended up with 2 of them. One of them got adopted, and this guy, he came in with Morgan looked like him, but she had 2 blue eyes. He's got 1 blue, 1 brown. And he's very sweet. Has she been adopted? Yeah, she got adopted, and he's still there. He needs to go to a home where there's another friendly dog, and he'd probably need a fence because, he would be a risk. If he got out, he might, it would be hard to catch him because he's very timid. So,
okay. That's all of them? Okay.
Do we have time left?
We do.
Because I could talk about our big project coming up.
Okay.
If there's any millionaires in your audience who would like a shelter named after them.
There might be some, but a lot of them would have left at the end of the summer because, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, right. And just, well, if somebody wants to, if you win the lottery, okay, so within the next year or 2, we're going to be building a new building. New York State are changing some rules and regulations. The shelter that we currently have is not adequate. for a lot of reasons, for, you know, keeping the dogs there. So we're looking at a capital campaign coming up soon, and we're going to be, we've got a grant writer that's looking for grants for us, and we're going to be building a new facility. We're not going to get bigger. We're not going to, because we just can't get bigger. We don't have the volunteers to man the shelter, man or woman the shelter. Most of them are older women. But so we're going to be building a new building, and it's going to have everything up to date, up to the New York State new regulations. So it'll be beautiful. So we're just shooting for the dream. Like, let's, you know, instead of like trying to make something that'll work for the time being, we want to make something that'll work for the next 25, 30 years, you know, whatever, until they come up with other new rules, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we'll use the existing building. We'll probably still use that for storage, but that has to be revamped too, because the new rules about storage is everything has to have a door. Like, we've got some open shelving now with blankets and towels and stuff, and everything's going to have to be in a cabinet with doors.
Oh,
So
I see.
we're going to have to redo the storage, you know, the storage areas.
So this is one of the regulations, to have it in cabinets
Yes,
with doors?
yes.
Okay.
So the new facility, that's the other thing. The new facility will be great because, like, all the kennels will be along one wall. And like right now, when you go in the morning as a volunteer, you have to put a dog on a leash and physically take it out to a yard, and then put it in the yard, close the gates, go back, get the next dog. And we have a bunch of yards. We have like, you know, 10, 6, 8, 10, depends on the size. Okay, so they're all different sizes, but we have some really big ones and then some smaller ones and some covered ones. But you have to take the dogs out and put them out there, and then you come back in, get the next dog. And like I said, sometimes, you know, somebody's waited for 10 hours or something, and then they just can't wait any longer. So the new place will have one of the regulations, I think, is where the kennel has to have like 2 parts to it. So they can get away. Like, if they did poop, there's a little doorway they go through, and that's where their bed is and their water.
Oh, okay.
So,
keeping that separate from where the poop
They'll
was.
have like a
Okay.
door flap or something,
Okay.
so they can not, you know, like right now it's just a big thing. So if they poop, it's in there with them, and, you know. And so then when a volunteer, whoever comes in the morning, there will be a guillotine door that just goes out to a fenced area just for that dog. And it'll have cover over it, so if it's raining. So to make it so much easier for managing the dogs and cleaning up after the dogs, because you can just go and, you know, push a button or pull a cord, and they go out, and you shut it, and then you can clean. And in the meantime, you don't have to worry about the rain, because it'll be covered. So if they're out there, you know, and there will be some grass area and some concrete area. And then there will also be gates on the outside of that, I think, that will go out to like a big yard. So if you want to let one out to a big yard, you could. So anyway, we're looking at that huge project. The new building will have, you know, kitchen, meet and greet room, laundry area, storage for food and stuff, and then all the kennels. So it's going to be great. But
you'll still use the original building somewhat?
Yeah, the original building will be, when we get dogs in, when they first come in stray or from another shelter, and we don't know, like, if we don't know what shots they've had, because sometimes we don't know if they've had any vaccinations. You know, like if you get a stray dog, we've got a couple there right now. The director was on her way to work, and here's 2 border collies running around in the road, and one's limping and had a torn ear. So she was just like, you know, I can't just leave these dogs here in the middle of the road. She was in the middle of nowhere, so she put them in her car, brought them to the shelter. We've tried to find owners. Nobody's coming forward. So we have no idea. Have they ever had any vaccinations whatsoever? They're not spayed or neutered, so we keep them separate. We keep them under quarantine. So that old building, we'll still use that for the quarantine area. Like, we have a little quarantine area now. We'll make it better. We're not going to get bigger. We're not going to take in, you know, we don't want to increase from like 20 dogs to 40 dogs.
Oh, yeah.
We're still going to stay within our limit. Like, the most I've ever seen is like 20, you know, at a time, and maybe a litter of puppies. Usually we have like 15 or 16 dogs at a time. We're going to stay in that, you know, that number. But we just need a new facility because the old one is just falling apart, and to try to redo that one, it's, you know, the old silk purse out of a sow's ear. It's just not gonna, it's not worth fixing. It's better just to build a new thing. So we're gonna build a new thing. So
Yeah, was that building there?
that building was there, it was a machine shop.
Oh, a machine shop.
So in 2002, they moved from the dog control officer at the time. He just took care of all the, and it was mostly just like local stray dogs. And he had a barn, and he had stalls in his barn, and that's where he took care of the dogs. And then Marcia and Jan got involved, and you know, they were helping him because he was getting older. And then, you know, there just seemed to be such a need for, you know, like getting, like, then okay, no one claims a dog, then trying to get it adopted. So I don't know where they got the money initially. I wasn't involved then, but in 2002 they opened on where we are now on Gale Street. And so that's been what, 22 years. So in 2002 it was great compared to a guy's barn with a couple of stalls. Now you had an actual building, but it was a machine shop. So they, you know, it's on a concrete slab. So it's hard when you're like trying to do plumbing, you know, and then it's got concrete walls or, you know, concrete brick walls. So when you want to put in a guillotine door, you know, and then there's like there's a back room. So like right now there's all the kennels, and it's like, wouldn't it be nice if each one of those had just a guillotine door and you could open it up and let them out? But right behind that wall is another part of the building, and so it just is not, you know, to try to fix it to what they want, we might as well just start over. So we're going to start over, and it's going to be great.
Okay, I'll be looking forward to seeing what it's going to look like. Well, we're down to half a minute, so
okay.
I'm going to say thank you so much for appearing on Fresh Perspectives today, and thank you, Sarge, for accompanying Patty
There he is, sleeping.
to the television studio.
He got to sleep in peace and quiet for an hour instead of at the noisy shelter, so he's happy.
Okay, that's good. That's really good. So I will see those of you in the viewing audience when I do the next episode.